Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one, too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, bigger, better, good God and truth of you and your lives. I just watched a show with Carl Slogan and Charlie Rose, and it's the funniest things in life that people say, but they were talking about religion compared to science, and they just got into like the Big Bang and how old the Earth is, and then the aliens and things of that nature, right? Well, if you've heard anything I've ever posted, you will know I don't subscribe to aliens. I just subscribe to what's alien to what is good as truth, right? Like a lion head snake on reality, right? Only an alien, right? They're two of the same. A lion head snake and alien to what is good as truth, to the reality check of you not knowing because of the faith of you. See, if it's not more positive than negative, if you don't know, right, that the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, right, is to be more positive than negative always, right? Well, then you're always faithfully alien to it, right? And it's always a lion head snake on your reality check. Now, we could say unidentified flying objects. I will subscribe to that because there is some Tesla spears and some weird things out here flying around that people just haven't articulated back as man-made yet, but they're not alien like you would think. They're only alien to the fact that we don't know what the good truth of them is yet, but they are man-made, and you don't have to worry about that. I also, if you don't know this yet, but I don't subscribe to the Big Bang either. I believe the Big Bang Theory is totally inaccurate, and I'll explain to you why. From the smallest Planck length of existence, right? It's just a circuit of energy, right? One more positive than all negativity. When this energy adds up, right, it makes protons, neutrons, and the electron field, right? And it makes all of these energies of matter for what they are to their levels, good as truth, as the internal, external parts of a atom, okay? I don't subscribe to gluons. I don't care what flavor you want to make them, but I do subscribe to quark energy. Now, here's the thing about it. On the inside of every atom, right, the protons, 2 up quarks, 1 down quark, right? And the neutrons, 2 down quarks, 1 up quark, okay? Well, the neutron is never ever neutral, right? And these and the proton is always a more positive energy than the neutron, meaning it's a more powerful energy than the neutron. It's the stabilizer of the neutron, but the neutron is never neutral, right? And it is the soul of you, and it is the matter of you. And like I said, I don't subscribe to gluons, and I'll explain to you why, okay? These energies also are total opposite polarities, meaning a proton adds up more positive than negative, and a neutron always subtracts out of its own energy more negative than positive, okay? And these energies absolutely cancel each other out, meaning if the matter of you is more positive than negative, it's stated good as truth. I don't care if it's the buildings, trees, you, me, anybody, of anything. And if not, right, it's just negative to what is more positive to keep it good as truth, okay? And it's canceled out the positive of it to the neutral of nothing, you hear me? It's just negative to the absolute bigger, better of its matter. The same when it's more positive than negative, right? It's canceled out the negativity to nothing. And anywhere atom matter evolved, right, it's stated more positive than negative. It's stated good as truth, and it can't be destroyed. Now, here's the thing about that, right? Everything of existence is stated this way, But for a man or a woman, the only way you can crisscross negative with negativity is through faith, okay? Because no faith, right, is evidence based, like they were saying on Charlie Rose and Carl Slogan was stating. So in reality, right, this faith, no matter what it is, right, no matter what kind of faith it is, it's always negative of being absolutely more protonic, okay, than negative always, okay. And what happens is when you take on faith, right, instead of going and doing something more positive than anything negative of you, because you think the world is crossed bad, evil, or simple through your faith, right? What happens is it's a snake of energy from positive to negative on your matter, okay, on the neutrons of you, okay. And if you know anything about crossing negative with negativity, it's the devilish hells of all things. It's the decay and disintegration of all physical matter, okay. But here's how it happens on the outside of an atom, right? If that neutron isn't stabilized by more protonic energy, right, it's always in a fluctuating state of decay and disintegration with its energy. It pulsates, okay? And when it becomes a neutron star, right, it pulsates with energy. And eventually, that energy is so erratic on the matter of it, it can't stay stabilized, and it collapses into a black hole abyss. And this is what happens with your body over time and with extremes. When you crisscross with faith, instead of doing what's more positive always than negative, to keep your matter good as truth, right? What it does is it causes you to either age out over time through the process of the negatives of faith, right? Being more powerful than the more positive energy of you being sustained as a snake of energy on your matter, right? It becomes a bushwhack, a he shaft of the devilish hells of you. And through these extremes on you, right, it causes your body to collapse into a black hole matter, right, where your neutrons can't stay more positive than negative to keep your shape, form, and mass expressed here and now, right, more protonic than neutronic, right. Like I said, I don't subscribe to gluons. Where's that happening in this process? It's not. Where's the Big Bang happening in this process? It's not. So in reality, right, this is what I subscribe to. So when these neutrons, right, become so unstable in your body through the energy of you being so erratic through the faith of you, which no faith is good as truth anywhere, okay? It's actually a bias on what's good as truth, okay? And that bias is always a snake of energy on your neutrons, on your matter, and on your life, see? Because you can't articulate back more positive than negative always. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, you state that things are bad, evil, and sinful. And let's say you're some sort of leadership, right? You take these things and you create victims, crooks, prisons, jails, and wars. Well, these things are all just negative with negativity that you, throughout your life, don't always bring back to a more positive way. And in reality, right, it's snaking you out of existence, right? A he shaft, a nutty, fruity bushwhack on your matter to the one neutral nothing of you, man, as the example to all you love, cherish, and hate. And it's a whole bunch of ridiculous nonsense, because what happens is you collapse into a black hole abyss on your matter, right? And it's infinitely the negative one nothing of you here and now with the devilish hells of you forevermore. You see? And it's a whole bunch of nonsense. It's a whole bunch of lies being told. Listen, you can say, right? And like Carl Slogan stated on that show with Charlie Rose, you can say, right, that your faith doesn't have to be evidence-based, but if it's not evidence-based, it's a lie on what's good evidence to you, especially if you take on this faith as what you live by, as your belief and your standard for what's reality for you, because it's no good as truth. Nowhere in existence is any faith good as truth. That's why it says be in the world, but not of the world, because this whole world is a faith-based world. You see? And this is how it happens, right? First, you get indoctrinated through the churches, right? Through your Bible studies, through your holy books and all these things, right? And then you try and take this faith-based law, which every government on the planet is a faithful government. And none of these governments are good as truth for the reality check of it. And you can say whatever you want about me, but I state no lie. And because of that, I state more powerful than you at every angle, as far as knowledge and as far as the substance, durability, the solidness of my life is concerned. And in reality, right, if you don't state more positive than negative, or you don't know it because I haven't told it to you and you haven't told it to somebody else that you love and cherish yet, right, you might want to get with that. And you may not want to retaliate against me, because in reality, as foolish as you may seem over it or feel over it, or insulted as you may be over it, right, I state no lie to you. I state only the good of God as truth of you. And if you apply it right here and now forevermore, you can't be destroyed for that. And that's a fact of God check. That's God truth of reality check. But again, like I said, I don't subscribe to aliens. I only subscribe to folks being alien to what is good as truth, right? I only subscribe to that alien being a lion head snake. If you spell it out and you abbreviate it like it's supposed to be to make a lion head snake out of the word alien, you'll understand what I'm saying. I've done it in other posts. I may just post up a old post with this and let you see it. I had a really slick little demiurge thing that I had wrote out a while back. But here's the reality of it, okay? The sun is more protonic than neutronic. The earth is more neutronic than protonic, okay? Without the sun, right, shining and consuming all things neutronic of the earth, making it more positive than negative, good for life to thrive for mankind, right, would be like all these other planets, right? No good is truth. Now, somebody that's a little bit more educated than me, they'll understand how I'm going to tell you in the periodic table somewhere along the way, Earth is the neutronic matter of Earth should register to a way that gets some scientists some really excited. Anyways, but back to what I'm trying to tell you, okay? In your mind and in my mind and in the mind of God, right? The earth has to be more positive than negative for mankind to exist, okay? This is the neutronic matter of the earth. And at one time, it was a true sister reflection, right, of the sun, okay? Now, the sun is male with energy, and the earth is female with neutronic energy. And what that means is if you plug a plug into the wall, right, the positive male better outweigh the female negativity of the plug, or you'll burn your whole house down, or things won't work correctly. And it's the same with the earth, okay? And we were he shafted, we were Shiva shafted with faith. It's Yada Bayoth, it's Samuel, it's Yahweh, it's a Jewish jib. You know, the menorah is actually a Shiva lingam. It's a shafting light. I'm just going to keep it real with you. You may not like it, but your faith is a lie, man. I tell you good truth. And if you only follow this good truth, you'll only be the absolute bigger, better here and now of it. And if not, you'll just despise me and destroy yourself for it. That's just a fact of God check. But I'm not going anywhere. You know why? Because I know this. Listen, just like the sun, right, has to overwhelm anything negative, okay, about the earth to make it protonic and good for life. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Okay, when you incarnate good with God as the truth of the life of Jesus Christ, holy with spirit, you can only do it one way, okay? And anything good is only more positive than negative, okay? That's the good truth of God of the life of Jesus Christ. One who never dies a negative to one nothing of the here and now. One who set the example that never dies. So let me just tell you, your faith is a lie if you believe that Jesus died on the cross for you. He set the example that never dies. That's why he got up 3 days later The thief rode back to the tomb. Mary kissed the thief. She said, "You're an angel." He was shining more positive, negative, just happy to be alive, there to help Jesus get up out that hole. And that's what they went on and did. But here's the reality of what I'm telling you. Anything good of you, right? The God of you has to state can only state one way for you if it's good. As truth, it's only one more positive than negative, okay? Now, that's the first dimension of God I am. That's the second dimension of the good truth of God of Jesus Christ I am. That's the third dimension, right, of the Holy Spirit of God of all I am. And like I told you, any atom matter, right, that's more positive than negative from the inside out 360 degrees cannot be destroyed. It's more evolved than that always in reality check. And that is the good God and truth of the atom matter and man evolved of all I am. The bonding atomus evolved of all I am. The incarnate out good God and truth of all reality check I am. The Father, Son, and even Holy Spirit of all mankind's negativity to one, neutral, nothing. I absolutely positively am. But back to what I'm trying to tell you, okay? So, the earth has to be overwhelmed. Its neutronic matter has to be overwhelmed by the sun, okay? More protonic, okay? The earth can't make enough energy on its own, right, in space to sustain its own life forms, okay? In your mind, right, and the atoms that you have to keep them more protonic than neutronic negative to keep your shape, form, and mass, the soul and matter of you good as truth to the here and now of your reality check. Okay? If you're that way with all you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, say, and do, all you branch out to, right, you will only be good as truth. You can't ever be destroyed or come to no harm, right, being more positive than negative with all you are good as truth, okay, to the absolute bigger, better here and now of your reality check. And like I said, the earth was a true sister reflection of the Son of God, right, the good God and truth of Jesus Christ, the energy of the thieving Holy Spirit out of God of all I am at one time with these pyramids, okay? And the earth's water, right, the rain, it didn't come down, it was geysered, and they controlled it through these pyramids, and they created energy, and it was free energy, okay? And just like today, man, with these energy companies and these faithful executives that are in power, right, they want to sell us this stuff, and they want to enslave us to the bottom dollar of them, okay? And this is why the earth was he shafted by the devil, okay? It's pure greed. It was pure hatefulness. It was in one of the doctrines, I can't remember what it is. It said if one of them knew anything of good or love, man, they'd have never done it. You see, but they didn't know any of that. All they knew was greed and power. Okay, and they rebelled against God. And they say the fallen angels, but these were just kings that were all over the earth. Wherever there was pyramids, China, Mexico, Russia, India, Japan, let's see, I think Japan, let's see, the United States, there was pyramids. I mean, the whole earth was pyramid. And what happened is Shiva is a snake god. And like I said, every time you cross with faith, right, you crisscross a snake of energy from positive to negative on your matter. And this is what he did to the earth, okay? If you hear about these ancient astronauts and all these people, this is Shiva's people that helped shaft the world. Now listen to what I'm trying to tell you. They described the atom incorrectly. That way, Adam, when he came to himself in the garden, eons old, right, he couldn't get his bearing on reality. And it says in the reality of the rulers that he was surrounded by demonic beings, but they were just humans. They were just twisted people, right, who wanted to take over the earth and enslave the inhabitants, right, for greed, for power, to be power tripping, greedy, bastards of God, you know what I mean? And I'm going to keep it real with you. They were blind. They're just blind fools, really. At the end of the day, that's the bastard ways of them. But like anybody, that are that are blind and greedy, if they learn a better way, I suspect they can change their ways. So hopefully, anybody who's took on this faithful doctrine and the leaders of the world who are controlled by this kind of articulation, man, they wake up to the fact that they're committing suicide. Okay, because you weren't created to die. Listen, you can tell a dumb animal like a monkey or a doggy, no, bad boy, sit, stay. No, don't do that, right? Lay down. But you'll never be able to tell that monkey or doggy or any animal to go do something more positive than this negatives. It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And if you as a human can't take on that articulation, that just means you're more animal-minded than a man, and you ain't created to keep existing. And everything I told you about how your body's collapsing into a black hole matter or abyss of the devil, right, is true, man. It's going to be infinitely the one nothing of you forevermore with the devilish hells of you. And if you don't believe me, man, go into the gospel. Philip, it'll tell you all about it. Philip asked, He's seen them in these black holes and abyss of the devil. He said, they can't be saved. Why can't they be saved? He said, because they didn't desire it. And you have to be resurrected in this life, man. When you die, you inherit nothing but death. Don't you understand that? Dead men don't get up and walk away from nothing. They die and they rot. You hear me? You only become new in the body by being a new person with your ways and your past, man. From the inside out at 360 degrees, go do something more positive than anything negative always. It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. All else is an articulation of faith that is selling you out. See, because I'm going to keep it real with you. If it's not good as truth, and you don't know to always do more positive than negative, to only add up that way, all you have is faith. And I don't care if you're a Muslim, Christian, Jew, a Hindu, Buddhist, an atheist one too. You're a faithful fool, and you're selling yourself out to one neutral nothing, and all you love and cherish. If it's for greed and if it's for bias hate, because in reality check, man, your body and who you are, right, as atom matter is not sustained more positive than negative ever with the faith of you. It can never be, because no faith is good as truth. It's all a biased lie set up by the devil to make you commit suicide on yourself always. Because Shiva, when he shafted the world, he didn't care who died of it. You hear me? Samuel, Yahweh, Yalda Baals, whatever you want to call this fool. Whatever articulation you want to give him, listen. He said, it says in one of these gospels, and I can't remember which one it says, but you can look it up. It says the seraphim, or they take on different forms. Well, all faith is one same. It's no good as truth. So whether you're a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew, an atheist, man, right? Depending on who that devil is, it's the one same devil of you. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? He's just took on different states of being for the reality check of your faith and the lie that you're living. And it's an indoctrination to death always, and that's why you always die of it one way or the other. See, you can't die of being more positive than negative when you feel all negativity. That states you good as truth. And Jesus showed us that at age 33, that you are fully grown. And that's why it was set up that way on the crucifixion. Because if you steal your life back, you can always state yourself to the reality of 33. It don't matter how old you are. Listen, I'm 2 years away from 50. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stay in shape in body matter if I don't keep trying to chop my arm off. Now, that's a whole different story. I'm gonna let you know I got 12 stitches there and it sucked. But in reality, I can be bigger and better than that, and you can too. Listen, there's nothing that you can't do or make new in your life and with yourself by being more positive than negative always. But you have to believe that's the good truth of you. And you can. And you know why? Because you can go anywhere in reality and only add up that way. It's the only way anybody or anything adds up, man. It's the mind of God, right? It's the body of God, right? It's the Holy Spirit of God. And it's the reality of God of your Adam matter evolved. As long as you go and state that way. Listen, you are the tree of life. And all that you branch out to, only branch out to it one more positive than all negativity to keep you good as truth. Because if not, right, in reality, you are dying of it. And that's just sad, man. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you're at, man. I believe that you and your life is unique to all things creation of existence. And I believe that no matter what, man, you deserve a chance to be a better person always than your negatives. And if somebody's smearing you out in that, they're awful and they're wronger than anything under the sun for it. No matter what you've done, man. You hear me? And I'm going to tell you something. If you're a lawmaker or you're a governor of people, right, something to think about, right? But if you're stating that things cross bad, evil, and sinful people, places, and things, and you're creating laws, right? Or you're enforcing these laws, or you're enforcing this governance, right? To create victims and crooks, right? Jails, prisons, wars, and conflicts. The convicts of us without sparing no expense, right? To only bring us back more positive than negative always. You're only committing suicide to it. You're only doing that as a what is alien to what is good as truth, a he shaft of the devil of you incarnate, and it's a sad state of affairs, right? You're only dying out more animal than man, because like I said, you can tell a dumb animal go sit, lay, stay, bad boy, good girl, whatever, but you can never tell that dumb animal to go do something more positive for all they are than being negative, man, always. And it's the only way you can destroy any negativity. Look, if the bad, evil, sinful way of every fool, right, that's a victim, crook, right, it's in your prisons, jails, or part of your wars and conflicts, right, it's just negative, right, and you don't know that, right, and you don't always bring that back because either you don't know it or you're sold out to it, right? Well, in reality check, your governance and your judgment and your leadership is just unqualified. And from this point on, I show you no mercy to that, because I know the real of it. We live in a golden age, man, and we're ready as a society to take this next step. And the only thing holding us back is the faith of fools like you. And it just can't be anymore. It just can't be. We're better than this. We as mankind were created to populate all infinity forever. Every planet, every star, every galaxy, everything of matter, from the smallest speck of it to the biggest thing ever created or ever is or ever will be, right? We were created with the minds of God, the bodies of God, and the lives of God, right? As children of God, right? To infinitely make these things the bigger and better of us, but not if we can't even get out of our own jails, prisons, and wars, out of our own neighborhoods, out of our own twisted, hallucinating minds, man, stating that things cross bad, evil, and sinful, whacked out, right? Alien to what is good as truth, man. You know, Carl's slogan was right on point, man. And like I said, I'm going to put the link with this. But he said it best, you know. In a matter of speaking, you can't live life without evidence. You see, and to take on faith is there's no evidence base to that. You see, it doesn't equate you out always, and anything that doesn't equate you out always is always a lie on you. You see, if it's not bringing you back to a more positive, protonic, bigger and better by the belief of it always, right? Well, in reality, it's always negative of it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's always a snake on your matter of energy, man. Because, listen to me, if it's not always positive and good for you as truth, it's always just negative of it, a lie on you, alien to the good God and truth of it in reality. And that lie is a lion head snake on your holy existence. And that's just the fact of God check. That's God, truth, a reality check. From the full thief man, God, King, Adam man, first evolved, the triple male of all I am. Peace.